Have you ever wondered how your muscles contract when you move? In this lesson, we'll break down the sliding filament theory, making it clear and easy to master. Muscle contraction happens within the sarcomere, the fundamental unit of muscle fibers. It consists of actin, thin filaments, and myosin, thick filaments, which interact to generate the force of contraction. However, at rest, tropomyosin wraps around actin, blocking myosin binding sites and preventing direct interaction. Only when calcium is released can this inhibition be lifted. Muscle contraction begins with a nerve signal, action potential, triggering calcium release into the muscle fiber. In the case of the cardiac muscle, we have two sources for calcium. Calcium from the extracellular space enters the cytosol through calcium channels. Then we have a second source, calcium from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. In the case of the skeletal muscle, all calcium is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Now, to step 1, calcium binding to troponin C. Here's actin, here's tropomyosin around it, and here's troponin C where calcium binds after it was released. Calcium binds to troponin C, causing a shift in tropomyosin, which exposes the binding sites on actin. Tropomyosin acts as a gatekeeper, preventing myosin from binding to actin until calcium initiates the structural change. Without this step, actin and myosin cannot interact, and contraction cannot begin. Now to step 2. Myosin-actin interaction begins, as we see here in this animation. With actin now accessible, myosin heads attach, initiating the cross-bridge cycle, the foundation of muscle contraction. Now to the 6 steps of the sliding filament cycle, starting with 1. The rigor conformation. This state here. Myosin head tightly bound to actin. At the end of the previous cycle, the myosin head is firmly attached to actin with a very strong affinity, with no ATP present. This state is called the rigor conformation. Now step 2. ATP binding and myosin release. ATP binding to myosin. ATP binds to the myosin head, reducing its affinity for actin and causing it to detach. Step 3. Myosin activation and ATP hydrolysis. Myosin head repositioning forward. ATP triggers a shift in the lever arm, moving the myosin head 5 to 10 nanometers along actin. ATP is then hydrolyzed, leaving ADP and inorganic phosphate behind. Step 4. Weak actin contact and phosphate release. Myosin head lightly touching actin. Myosin makes weak contact with actin. This interaction releases inorganic phosphate, preparing for the next major step. Step 5. The power stroke, force generation, myosin pulling actin. The phosphate release reinforces the bond between actin and myosin, triggering the power stroke, the key force-generating step. Step 6. ADP release and cycle reset. Myosin head returning to its original position. As myosin returns to its starting position, ADP is released, completing the cycle. Myosin remains tightly bound to actin, ready to repeat the process. I hope this was helpful.